Have you ever met someone who is genuinely, consistently nice, yet you slowly realize they're taking advantage of you? They never yell or make obvious demands, but you find yourself constantly doing favors for them, apologizing to them, or bending your own rules to keep them happy. That quiet sense of being used, especially by someone who seems so kind, is one of the most confusing emotional experiences you can have. Today, we will decode the nice manipulator's hidden 3-part playbook, and I will give you the precise words and actions to break their cycle of control. We often mistake manipulation for something loud and cruel. The reality of modern psychological control is far more insidious. It operates under the radiant disguise of kindness, concern, and unwavering support. This is what experts call covert aggression. The covert aggressive person does not fight you head-on. Instead, they skillfully use your own gratitude and your desire to be fair against you. They are the one who is always so agreeable, who volunteers for things you never asked for, whose praise can feel overwhelming. Their power comes from the brilliant illusion they create. Because they seem so generously nice, any boundary you set feels like you are rejecting their kindness. You are left feeling ungrateful and needlessly harsh for simply wanting balance. That feeling of guilt is not a sign of your selfishness. It is the primary symptom that you are caught in a different kind of cycle. Every interaction with this person follows a predictable and repeating pattern. Think of it as a 3-act play they perform, with you as the unwitting co-star. Act 1 is the hook of overgiving. This is where they deploy their excessive helpfulness as strategic bait. It could be a flood of unsolicited favors designed to create a social surplus. It could be enthusiastic agreement with all your ideas, more than you agree with them yourself. It could be remembering small details to show how much they care, creating a sense of indebtedness. The hook establishes them in your mind as incredibly selfless and supportive, someone you would feel awful disappointing. Act 2 is the twist of the invisible ledger. Here, the expectation hidden within all that giving is revealed. It is a quiet guilt trip about reciprocity. You might hear, "I am just surprised, after everything I did to help, that you would see it that way." It is passive aggression expressed as confusion over your lack of equal enthusiasm for their needs. The twist is always framed as a question of your fairness, making any desire for balance seem like you are being transactional. Act 3 is the penalty of withdrawn support. If you dare to question the invisible ledger, they enforce compliance by removing the very kindness they offered. They might become subtly less helpful and less praising. Their once warm agreement might turn into mild skepticism about your plans. The penalty reminds you that access to their supportive self depends on your compliance. This cycle hooks you with overgiving, twists with an invisible ledger, and penalizes with withdrawn support. And it repeats, training you to keep them happy to maintain their vital encouragement. In the fog of this cycle, you may desperately look for logical proof of their manipulation. You replay conversations where they said nothing but supportive words. Often, you cannot find a single cruel thing because it was never said. This is where you must make a critical shift. Stop looking for proof in their words and start trusting the data from your own body and emotions. That heavy feeling of obligation after they do you a favor, that subtle anxiety about telling them no, that mental exhaustion from tracking an emotional debt you never agreed to, that is your data. Your intuition is picking up on the disconnect between their generous actions and the controlling subtext beneath them. Experts call this the gaslight effect, where someone makes you doubt your own reality. The nice manipulator is a master of this. They will say they never asked for anything in return. They will claim you are imagining pressures they never created, all while their behavior makes you feel perpetually behind. Your feeling of unease is not proof you are a bad friend. It is proof of their covert strategy. That inner discomfort is your most reliable compass, and it is pointing directly at the truth. The goal is not to fight every favor or to change this person. The goal is to break the cycle itself by refusing to play your part. You do this not with dramatic confrontations but with calm, consistent action. The moment you sense the twist, the shift from giving to a veiled expectation, you must intervene with gentle clarity. Respond to the subtext, not the generous text. You can say something like, "I truly appreciate your help, and I need to make my own decision here." Or, "I sense there might be an expectation I am not meeting, can we clarify that directly?" Then, prepare for the penalty of withdrawn support. When their generous approach stops working, they will often become cooler and less effusive. This emotional shift is not a sign you are being ungrateful, it is a sign your clarity is working. They are trying to regain control using the only tool they have, which is withholding their praise and help. Most importantly, avoid what experts label jade. This means do not justify, argue, defend, or explain your perspective endlessly. Giving long emotional explanations simply gives them more material to question. State your position with simple clarity, thank them for their past support, and separate that from your present choice. Then, you can choose to disengage from the ledger discussion. By doing this, you stop feeding the cycle. You move from being a debtor in their emotional bank to a free agent in your own life. If this breakdown of the covert cycle is making things click for you, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. This helps YouTube algorithm to show this video to others who are feeling this same confusion. So, we have decoded the playbook. The problem was never your appreciation for kindness. The problem was their strategic investment in your guilt. We have seen the three-part cycle of overgiving, the invisible ledger, and withdrawn support. We have learned to trust the data from our gut feeling. And we have mapped the path to break the cycle by setting boundaries and refusing the debt. This nice manipulator's greatest trick is making you believe you are the ungrateful one. Your guilt is the evidence of their strategy, not your personal deficiency. You now hold the master key to your own freedom. It is the key of perception, allowing you to see the ledger for what it is. It is the key of action, giving you the words to decline the unasked for loan. And it is the key of compassion, for yourself. Use this knowledge not to reject generosity, but to distinguish it from control. Protect your energy, protect your peace, and protect your story. Because you, and only you, are the author of what happens next.